Hello, my friends. This is James Elam, former Democratic candidate for the House of Delegates. You might remember I was on your ballot up until a couple months ago. But this entire time, the pandemic has raged on and on. I have tried to use my time running for office, my undergrad, what I'm studying in college, which is public health. I've tried to use my experience with this topic and educate the public on it. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the free in-home testing that I'm going to encourage everyone to do. So if you can share this video, the governor talked a little bit about it, but I just got my test. I haven't taken it yet because I have to do it over a video call with a member of Vault Technologies. If you watch the governor's press conference, he talked about how you can get one of these. And I got mine again right here, and it came the next day. So if you go to coronavirus.wv.gov, there should be a link in the top right-hand corner of that webpage. There should be a link for you to fill out a form. It took me nothing but 5 minutes to fill out a form, and you get this test mailed to you. Now, I'm going to take my test later on in the day. I'm not having any symptoms or anything like that, and I've been tested 5 or 6 different times. I know some people who haven't even been tested a single time. And I'm going to kind of go off a minute. I'm going to post in the comments here while I've got you guys here. This is a link to an op-ed that I wrote in May, back when I was still on the ballot in the 36th district in the House. I wrote that op-ed in May. West Virginia is seeing the worst COVID-19 numbers since the pandemic started. You just had a 25-year-old individual die in Cabell County the other day. And yet it's like pulling teeth to get people to wear a mask. I'm sick and tired of debating public health. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. The messaging that has come out across the board for this thing has not been consistent. It's not been accurate. It's not been helpful. It's not been good. Wearing a mask is the only thing we have in the toolbox right now until we get those vaccines out to the general public. And the first thing that we need to not do is overwhelm the healthcare system in this country, which we're already doing throughout the entire country. I'm trying not to be upset, but we recorded in the last 4 days alone in the United States, 10,000 COVID deaths, 10,000 Americans who died in 4 days. This is taking off exponentially. And all it required us to do from the very beginning was to just wear a mask and stay away from people. And it's not hard. It's not tough. So I'm really not trying to harp on this. But when you've got 2,700 Americans dying in a day, we're going to get up to the point in this country where we're going to have 3,000-4,000 Americans dying every day. We're recording ridiculous amount of new cases every single day, and it's not going to slow down. And people are going to die. More people will die in West Virginia and throughout the country due to an inability of some people to do what they, and not everybody, because I know people who haven't left their house in months. I know people who are wearing a mask when they go out, and they are not traveling for the holidays, and they're doing all the right things. They're pushing all the right buttons. They're listening to the public health experts. I am studying a bachelor's in community and public health right now as we speak. I'm in my under 2 years left on this bachelor's, and I'm about to get my associate's degree. This is what I've studied outside of working in law enforcement. This is what I'm getting my degree in. Anthony Fauci, members of the CDC, Dr. Birx, the messaging from the very beginning was skewed from the very beginning. Other than Dr. Fauci, who told us from the beginning how bad this was going to be. I didn't listen to anybody on the president's COVID task force because the second he put Mike Pence in charge of that nonsense, it was just, there was no way. And when I was running for office, I had the people in parts of this state had the audacity to attack me as a candidate because I was taking away your liberty and your freedom. No, quite the opposite. I want us all to continue living a healthy life. so you and me and my neighbor or your mother or your grandma or your brother or whoever, Republican or Democrat, I don't give a shit about that. Nor does this virus. This virus will kill you whether you're Republican or Democrat. And it goes without saying. This should not be something that has to be continually repeated and repeated and repeated. Nobody wants to wear a mask. Nobody wants to do the social distancing. I can guarantee you no one wants to see another shutdown because half of the country couldn't be bothered to put a piece of cloth over their damn face and keep this thing from spreading. I'm telling you, we're going to cause the economy to collapse, and we're going to overwhelm the hospital systems in this country. It's already happening. It's already happening. So I'm not trying to be pissed off, but this isn't hard. Get tested, please, for the love of God. I will put the link in the comments right now. Just get a test. That would be great. It should be coronavirus.wv.gov. Boom. Click that link, and in the top left-hand corner, submit your request to get one of these at-home tests. You do the test, and it's not even a nasal thing. This is one with saliva. So you spit into a test tube, and the examiner watches you over a Zoom call. So, I mean, you can do that off your phone. It doesn't matter. But go to coronavirus.wv.gov and go get tested. Or if you don't want to have to go through Zoom, or maybe you don't have the technological capability to have somebody view your appointment with a doctor or a representative from Vault Technologies, then you can always make an appointment at the health department. There are always drive-up testings going on here in Kanawha City. There's one on Chesterfield Avenue that's going on all the time. So get tested, and please take this virus seriously. And, you know, I apologize for getting a little upset there, but when public health is what you're studying for your degree, and when the Charleston Gazette endorsed your campaign because you were the only one at that time, I mean, literally, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but when this pandemic first hit and we first got the word that it was going to be something really serious here, I was at a Rise Up West Virginia conference, and I was the only candidate there, to my recollection, who even mentioned the coronavirus when this first happened. Guys, please, for the love of God. And Mike Pushkin was there. There were a ton of people there. So please, just for the love of God, wear your mask. It's not hard. It's not tough. What's going to be really tough is when your loved one dies or a friend of yours dies. And I can tell you, when one of your best friends dies, your life is never the same. My best friend died 2 years ago, and a lot of you know what happened. He shot himself, and it was the worst time of my life. And that was completely unrelated to COVID, but he was really young, and losing him was one of the toughest things ever. It was my best friend from high school through college, everything. And so to not have him here with me for a completely unrelated matter to COVID, I couldn't imagine something being preventable like this disease. This did not have to be this bad. That's the point I'm trying to drive home. And then I'll get off of here. But this didn't have to be this bad. In West Virginia or in the United States alone, read the op-ed in the comments that I posted. I wrote it 6 months ago, and you would have thought I wrote it yesterday. Why are we still debating facts and science? More importantly, there's just science behind all of this. There is science behind it. And the leading scientists in this country and the leading public health experts in this country are warning us and literally waving the flag saying, guys, this is going to get bad. And so please, the point of this video, and I'm going to keep it short, and I'm not going to talk your head off forever, get tested. Because the only way we know if you have it is if you get tested. You might develop symptoms, and that might give you an idea that you might have it. But the best way that you can know and you can protect yourself and other people is this test right here. I didn't pay anything for this test. I didn't pay a dime. And if you go in the link there, coronavirus.wv.gov, and if you share this video too, you and other people can order a test completely free that's sent to your home. You can then take that test with someone watching you from this company, whether that be a representative of the company or a doctor or whatnot. And it should take about 2 or 3 minutes to gather this sample. You drop it in the mail, and you get your results within 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours. So please, for the love of God, get tested, wear a mask. Don't argue science with scientists. I'm not a scientist, but I'm sure as hell going to listen to the scientists. Don't argue public health with the undergrads and the doctors and the people who are studying this, because I will tell you what, when it comes to the public health side of this and studying infectious diseases, that's what I'm getting my bachelor's degree in. So please, for the love of God, take the virus seriously. There's 2,700 Americans just died the other day, and I don't want any more West Virginians to be a part of that number, but sadly, that's inevitable at this point. So please continue to take the virus serious. And, you know, that's really all I got. I'm flabbergasted. Honestly, I am. I mean, what is it? It's December now, and I wrote my op-ed over half a year ago, and I'm still having to tell people how important it is to wear a mask. I'm still having to come out here and to tell people how important it is to get tested when we should just know that. I'm still dealing with people who attack me constantly for trying to take away their freedom when it's just the opposite. I'm trying to give people the ultimate freedom, which is the gift of life, the gift that God gave us, this one life that we have, and our beautiful family members and our beautiful loved ones. We have this for one time. So why would we mess that up? Just please, it's as easy as wearing a mask and getting tested and socially distancing and practicing good hygiene. All of those things. If you take all of those things incredibly seriously, maybe it would just save one life. And isn't that enough? So thank you. And please, everybody, and this is not a political message here. As an American, just take the virus serious, whether you're a Republican or Democrat. I don't care what party you are. I just don't want you getting sick. And I don't want you infecting other people who tried to keep themselves safe. We will have a vaccine soon, and hopefully we go back to some kind of normalcy in this country. But until then, if we aren't all on the same page, we'll never get ahead of it. And we're living proof of that right now. Where we are right now is a result of arguing science and public health and turning it into something that should have never been a political issue. So I want to thank you for joining me. I'm about to take my COVID test, and when I get my results in the next couple days, I'll let you know. Hopefully they're negative. I don't feel any symptoms. I'm not worried that I have it, but just so I know and everyone who's around me knows, let's keep getting tested. God bless you guys. Stay safe, please, and please take the virus seriously. Thank you.